There's nothing worse than buying a new car only to have to scrap it just a few years after pulling it off the lot. You want something that's gonna take you wherever you wanna go, rolling past the junkyards. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast who wants to go off-road or a road tripper who's living out of their car. There are some cheap SUVs out there that will last a lifetime, yeah, your lifetime, without putting a massive hole in your wallet. Here are 7 cheap SUVs that will last you forever. Let's get into it. These days, it seems like every other car on the road is a Honda CR-V. You've seen them, right? Well, that's for good reason. Okay guys, this is one of Honda's best-selling SUVs. These Japanese juggernauts consistently last a lifetime. This means that you're seeing CR-Vs from this year, last year, 2010, 2005, hell, probably a couple from the Stone Ages. And guess what? They're probably all running just fine. While your CR-V is probably not going to impress any supermodels, it'll sure make you happy with how much you'll save in the long run. These compact crossover SUVs hide a 2.4-liter engine under the hood that's hooked up to a 5-speed transmission, making the CR-V one of the most maneuverable machines in its class. It also offers surprisingly peppy acceleration that'll have you grinning as you sail past the sedans. Expect gas mileage close to 30 miles per gallon no matter what generation you get. And best of all, you'll be cruising in your CR-V until you're ready to pass it on to your grandchildren, because that's what I'm sure you're thinking about, grandchildren. J.D. Power hit the CR-V with 5 out of 5 stars for reliability, and we here at Ideal definitely agree. I found this great deal on AutoTEMPEST. All of my favorites that I'm going to talk about today are in the description down below. Next up, we've got a great SUV if you're thinking big, not little, big. This right here is the biggest beast on the list today. The Chevy Tahoe just looks like authority. And you might even find that people pull off the road for you if you buy a Tahoe, because these bad boys are used as cop cars. That's not because of how badass they look, it's because they rock a 5.3-liter V8 capable of spitting out 320 horsepower. And a 6-speed transmission, it's geared to chase down bad guys or pass the sucker in the slow lane. Unfortunately, the downside of having an engine built for a giant steel bulldog is that the fuel economy is pretty subpar. But never fear, the Tahoe can still end up saving you money. This 2010 model is selling for under 10 grand and is guaranteed to last forever. And just like the CR-V, the Tahoe also got 5 out of 5 star rating for reliability from J.D. Power from 2010 to 2014, which means that this bruiser can take a beating. No, I'm not suggesting you go start punching your Tahoe to see if it dents, but I am suggesting that if you buy a Chevy Tahoe, you won't end up with a huge dent in your wallet. And if you're willing to sacrifice a little power for agility, the next SUV might be all you. Saying that the Acura RDX is an affordable SUV that lasts is, well, accurate. Dad jokes aside, the Acura RDX is a car that your pops would approve of. It's super safe, relatively inexpensive, and extremely reliable. It got stellar ratings in IIHS crash tests across the board, except for rollover tests. The RDX isn't just built for safety, it's also a quick little devil that's a blast to drive. It also turns corners on a dime thanks to an ultra-firm independent suspension. The firmness of the suspension does, however, make for a bit more of a rigid ride. So if smoothness is your priority, you may want to consider another option. But if you're looking for an affordable luxury vehicle that will last longer than time itself, definitely keep the RDX in mind. As always, Acura has outfitted this ride with the finest luxury features: leather trim, a powered moonroof, and dual zone climate control. With its high degree of reliability, the RDX will be transporting you in comfort and style for the rest of your days. Now let's talk about how you can get a Land Cruiser with Lexus luxury for under 9 grand. That'll last a lifetime. So what if I told you you can have all the luxury and performance that comes with buying a Lexus, all draped over a Toyota Land Cruiser? Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Or are you holding onto your wallet for dear life right now?
Shut up and take my money.
But no, you can get all that and more for less than 9 grand with the Lexus GX 470. That's right, all the expert engineering that went into creating the most powerful and reliable SUV ever made by Toyota, combined with all the comfort and style of Lexus luxury.
That damn racer on my street keeps waking up Grandma with that fart can exhaust slapped on his old Honda Civic.
And you could drive one home today without breaking the bank. What's even better you won't just be enjoying this sweet ride for a year or two. The GX 470 runs like new, well over 500,000 miles. Doesn't matter if you take this thing off-road through every mountain and every forest on the globe. The GX 470 doesn't even know the meaning of junkyard. Seriously though, this ride is an off-roading monster with high-tech features like hill descent control and a super advanced four-wheel drive system that can detect when any one of the wheels is slipping and automatically shift power to the other wheels to get you over any obstacle. You could probably drive this car through the Grand Canyon without a scratch. Hold on, don't try that. But for real, this is one of the most durable, high-performance SUVs on the market. And for a price like that, you can't get much better. It's so good, in fact, that our own resident off-roader Squid bought one of his very own. You can check out this video to see what he thinks of it right here.
What do you think of the new Ideal 911 real quick?
Just when you think there are no more mods that he could do to this thing, he's like, hold my beer.
What did I do?
He was given this trailer hitch from an amazing company that he's gonna link down below, and then he bought a bike rack so he could roll around like this.
What are you talking about?
Is this ideal or unreal?
That looks so good. Yes.
Next up is a boat-sized SUV that actually gets some solid fuel economy. Another beastly SUV that will stand the test of time, even if you take it off-roading, is the Toyota Highlander. This land yacht has enough space to fit your whole family and your pet elephant. Everyone has a pet elephant, right? It's all right. Sometimes you gotta leave the pet elephant at home. And when you do, you can fold down the seats into one of Highland's many different configurations, and suddenly you have room for the whole family and the house. But a car this big must be horribly inefficient when it comes to fuel, right? Wrong. The Highlander actually has surprisingly good fuel economy at 23 highway miles per gallon. Want to save even more on fuel? Toyota started making a hybrid configuration for this off-roading Renegade in 2006. However, it should be noted that drivers have reported that the hybrid version doesn't perform as well off-road. So if you're planning to traverse the Highlands in your Toyota SUV, better stick with the petrol engine. But with the electronic traction and stability control, this machine was made to brave nature and take on the toughest terrains. And the best part is that the Highlander received near perfect reliability ratings. So you can rip this thing off-road until hell freezes over. Want a tech-savvy SUV with Bose noise cancellation? Let's talk Buick! Yeah! That's my jam! Said no one ever. Now I know you're gonna find it hard to believe, but I kinda love Buicks.
You serious?
Well, I did, until Brad bought me this new babe. So in my past life, yes, I drove a Buick. And by past life, not that long ago. So, the ENCORE is not your grandfather's Buick. This compact SUV is loaded with top-of-the-line tech features, ample storage space for its size, and superb fuel economy for an SUV. Let's look at some of the bells and whistles that the ENCORE has to offer. Complete with a rear cross-traffic alert system that lets you know if you're about to run over the neighbor's bike. Blind spot monitoring that helps you change lanes safely. A 1.4-liter turbocharged Ecotec engine with unreal fuel economy for an SUV. And it's even got a Bose noise canceling system in the cabin. Imagine driving in traffic and not having to hear all the road rage and car horns. And even with all these gadgets, you can still pick up one of these for under $8,000. But that's not the only money the ENCORE will save you. With great ratings and reliability and 33 miles per gallon on the highway, this compact cruiser will save you a fortune on gas over its nearly infinite lifespan. Could your grandfather's Buick do that?
Nope.
But while we're talking about reliable SUVs, let's talk about an affordable ride that'll last you to infinity.
To infinity and beyond!
There's a reason Nissan named their luxury division Infinity. Because if you buy an Infinity FX, that's the year it will break down on you. Infinity. In other words, never. And the FX isn't just reliable. It's also quick, powerful, and a ton of fun to drive. When the FX was first released in 2003, Infinity changed the SUV landscape forever by dropping an SUV body on what was essentially the same platform as their high-performance sedan, the G35. And by shifting as much weight to the wheelbase as possible, they created an SUV that can whip around corners and zip through traffic better than most sedans on the market. This ride really puts the sport in sport utility vehicle. But that's not all. The FX has all the sweet luxury features that you'd expect from an Infinity. A 300-watt Bose sound system, a rear view monitor, and a telescoping steering wheel are just a few of them. And believe it or not, you could pull away in this righteous ride for under 8 grand. Ridiculous! So which of these indestructible SUVs looked best to you? I know Squid's choice is the big baby elephant, that GX 470. It is kind of hard for me not to pick the Buick. I mean, they did upgrade that Encore and throw the turbo in it. When I bought my Buick, that wasn't an option, but my Buick was turbocharged. I hope you enjoyed this vid. Don't forget to drop us a comment and subscribe to our channel and keep living the ideal lifestyle.